everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. And, thanks for all of you that are jumping over directly from the Wednesday wrap-up. What's happening, gentlemen?
I just, just to reiterate, company policy is please be on time. On time means at least 4 to 5 minutes before we go on the air, not like bam, hit live, go air. Not professional.
I can't do that.
It's not professional. It will not be tolerated, Bo. If it happens.
Nah, see, I can't because I'm leaving directly from a show to this show. So that's how that works.
We'll continue this offline. I think further discussion is needed.
Nope.
That's all the further discussion you get.
Oh man.
Yeah. So how did everybody's yesterday work out for them? It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, Bo, but I gotta say, I'm gonna start like this. I'm wearing my Rocket. I feel the love. We didn't get the win, but we put up a good effort, put up a good fight. And I don't mind if I'm gonna lose and lose to the champions at one point, whatever. I'm gonna take it. I thought we did good. I was a little worried about it, honestly, but I thought we did pretty good. We'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, it's always weird when hockey and basketball start because I don't watch a lot of it at the beginning. Now, obviously, basketball largely because we don't have a team, but
right.
Like hockey, obviously, I'm getting more into, but
yeah.
I don't think Dustin's all that happy about his team. Dustin, aren't you a Bulls guy?
Yeah.
You're not happy.
It's been a while since they've been good.
Well, we've been a play-in team the last 3 years, last 4 years, so at least we get that far, and that's about it.
So nobody's impressed by a play-in team because you can be a play-in team with a losing record. So
you can. But last year that was the case. The year before that, though, when we we didn't get the 8th seed, but all 4 play-in teams the year before that were at least 500. So there are going to be the cases where you have that scenario.
No, I get it. I just when you're talking about more,
I don't like it.
The team gets in, it's dumb.
I don't like it unless my team's in it. If my team's not in, they're playing stupid.
So even if I had a team still, let me preface it this way, I still wouldn't like it because it's just like all you're going to do is get blown out the next round anyway because you're not good enough to compete. So, I mean, unless you had some wild injuries or whatever, but even still, like for me, I'm one of those, if you want to get in, win more.
No, I agree, but it's also depending on the match.
Stupid rules, be like, oh, come along, little buddy. Like
it's also depending on the matchup. It's also depending on the matchup too, because there are cases where you see a 7 and an 8 seed beat a 1 or a 2 seed without injuries, and it's just because there's a better matchup.
Sure, it can happen. Yeah. I'm not saying that. Eli has 2 rings because he happened to just go on a heater in the playoffs twice. Like, I get it. At the same time.
This year especially, I'm very curious to see who gets into that play-in section, mainly because of the injuries. You don't have Halliburton, you don't have Tatum, you have a lot of these big name stars in the Eastern Conference, especially that are hurt. Obviously, Giannis is one of those guys that misses time throughout the year. Like the Eastern Conference this year is going to be so wide open because of the players that are hurt right now. And it leads me to wonder, like, do any of these teams like Indiana, Boston, or any of these teams that are typically the top 4 in the league, do they fall further down in the standings because they're missing some of their pieces? And if those are one of the teams that ends up in the play-in because of the pieces they're missing, now that's a team that can make a run. Because who knows what happens when the playoffs start? Do they get Tatum back? Do they get some of these pieces back that are out right now?
I really need you to change your name to Run-On Sentence. I felt like that was about 13 run-on sentences. And I didn't get a comma. I didn't get a period. I didn't get nothing. I need, no, as a journalistic person as you are, you talk and run on sentences. And I'm just just saying it's incredible
He
that
goes.
you can talk for half an hour and only take one breath. I don't know how you do it.
No. That's what he does. He just, and then just until he
You
runs out.
Like, holy shit. Yeah.
Thank
No, what's interesting to me is last night we brought in Durant because we wanted to. Obviously, we wanted the superstar, but we really wanted some 3-point shooting. And the fact that man went 0 for 3 at the 3-point line, and I lost by 1 point. Kevin Durant, what the hell? That's my only gripe. My only gripe is, damn it, we brought you in here to be a 3-point shooter, and we didn't get bumped and we lost by 1 point. Could you not at least made one of the 3 points?
See, and that's right, Donna. It took him 6 years to get his AA, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, for those of you watching, if you don't get that reference, check out the show 2 days ago.
The thing I will say about Durant, though, Jay, is if you look at his career, what is this, year number 16, year number 17 for him?
Yeah.
He is one of the more efficient shooters in NBA history. They showed something yesterday where I think he's like 5th or 6th all time in terms of like points per game average for his career. He's like top 5, top 6 for what he's averaged.
Mm-hmm.
And he's averaged what he's averaged by taking 20 shots or more only 2 times in his career. Compare that to LeBron James, who's averaged what he's averaged, doing that 12 times. Michael Jordan has done that 8 times. That just goes to show you how efficient Durant is to get his points, that he's only averaged 20 shots or more twice in a 16-year career. So, like, when he gets going, he is going to be efficient.
Well, I needed him to be efficient at least 1 out of the 3 times that he shot the damn rock from beyond the arc. One time.
He is easily one of the most efficient shooters. There's no question. For him, it's just the intangibles that are a problem.
Yeah.
Like he's not a great leader. If he has to be the guy, he's going to come up short. Like if you just let him go out and play basketball, like he's fine. If he needs too many fans in his stuff, he busts out all 10 burner phones and then wastes so much time talking to people that don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's funny because he'll go out of his way to like respond to people that it's like they're on Twitter and it's a troll account that has one person following him and he's just like going hard at him. And you're like, dude, you realize you're letting that guy win, right? Like that, it was his whole purpose was to spin you out.
Dude, I had this whole conversation with Durant. And I fucked him.
That's exactly it, right? And it gets like some weird stuff.
Right.
That's like if you are in the game and Westbrook is there, if you're yelling at Westbrook, like he'll lose his mind. And I mean, from a viewer standpoint, it's funny, but at the same time, you're just like, that's not great. No idea, Joe.
The thing with Durant too is if you look at the way the NBA is played now, how you don't really have like a standard center anymore. Like all these bigs are out by the perimeter and they're kind of being used as the stretch forward, stretch big. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant was really the player that started that because he was drafted in 05 or 04, whatever it was, 04 or 05, and he was really that first big 6'11" guy that would not play with his back to the basket. He was that first taller player that would step out to the mid-range, step out to the perimeter to take his shots. And since then, you've seen more and more and more players kind of go to that style. And now that's what the NBA is now because you don't have post players anymore. Even the post players we do have, like Embiid and Joker, they step out and take more threes than actually put their body in the paint.
Yeah, so I understand that's where the game is going. It's very 3-point centric. Like I get it. I don't like it. I
don't like it either.
I don't like my 7-footers out of position to get rebounds because they're jacking it up from 28 feet. Like I'm not a big fan of that. Like give me a guy that, mid-range, sure, right? Because you're 2 steps away from at least having an opportunity for a rebound. But when you got a guy Durant's size that's out there jacking up threes as his primary shot, I don't love that. You're out of position for anything. Like you better have somebody that's scrappy down low because your tall guy is back at mid court messing around. So,
well, no, I totally agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't love the direction the game has gone. Obviously I like the accuracy of the shooting. Like,
Right.
But
that's
that, you know what? When the low post went away, that's what all that stuff went away. I mean, I
No,
would
for
say
sure.
Woodbury.
Like,
I would say it would bring back the low post.
it's either a dunk or a 3-point shot. Like the whole
Yeah.
mid-range game is really lost in this generation of basketball.
The only two players nowadays that have a mid range are DeMar DeRozan, who's like known as the mid range king, and then Jimmy Butler. Like those are really the only two players that I can think of off the top of my head that focus on mid range before anything.
SGA doesn't have a mid range.
SGA is more of a slasher. He'll drive to the bucket to get to the rim. He'll pass it out, or he'll just kind of take players off the dribble. Like DeRozan and Butler are ones that if you watch their game, they primarily focus on the 12 to 18-foot jumper. Like they're just running around the paint kind of in a circle, and they're just popping mid-range before they do anything else.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not saying that the other elements of the game aren't good, but when you ignore an entire section of the floor and it's putting your tallest rebounding guys out of position, that's what I don't like about it. Like, I don't mind guys wanting to jack up threes.
Right.
But I'd rather see my guys that are 6'3" to 6'6" do it than my 7-footers.
Exactly.
Right? Like, give me my, power forwards and shooting guards, and like, give me those guys shooting those, not, my center.
Like
Or,
Dirk Nowitzki, Dirk Nowitzki was the prime example of what a power forward should be. Like he was 6'11", 250. He had a good shot, so you knew he was going to go out to the perimeter and shoot probably 5 or 6 threes a game. But guess what? He also knew when he had the opportunity to go in the paint, he still had post moves, and he was going to go in the paint and use his post moves.
Oh, for sure.
well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like one of his biggest things was that fadeaway from. He buried everybody with that shot. Like 1 foot,
he was smart enough to know, like, hey, I can take a game over from the outside if I need to. But I'm still a 7-footer that has size on the inside, and I'm going to use my go-to move, the 1 foot fadeaway banker.
I mean, and again, that goes back even to the days of Hakeem Olajuwon. He invented the fadeaway baseline jump shot. I mean, he could have easily gone to the bucket a couple of times. I like the finesse guys.
Well,
Robinson had it,
but what that does is it allows those tall guys to still be in position for when it's missed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're looking at Durant and he doesn't have the ball in his hand, now obviously most of the time you're not getting your own rebound, right? Like you're generally out of position for that. But when you look at him out on the perimeter, it means if anyone else takes the shot, he's nowhere near that rebound unless it hits the heel and bounces way out. Right, like that happens sometimes. But
does LeBron do that though a little bit too as well? Though
LeBron can't shoot.
Is he more in the paint?
Yeah, he goes down low more.
I guess you got to be down low to flop. So
yeah, LeBron and
have contact to fall down.
Yeah, LeBron and Giannis drive to the lane more so than actually use the paint. Like LeBron and Giannis are the ones that kind of drive to the rim. Like Giannis should be one that's using the paint because the guy's huge. But like LeBron and Giannis, like they both step out and take threes, but neither of them are accurate enough to consistently hit them. So like their strength is putting the ball on the floor and just trying to run right through you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Durant too, I think a big reason why he's played the way he's played is because the guy's built like a beanpole. Like he has no way of even being physical down low. Like he would get thrown halfway across the lane if someone even makes contact with him.
I'm not saying he has to go and body people up like he's Patrick Ewing or something. What I'm saying is it's really hard to get a rebound if you're 25 feet away.
It is.
The ball
let's be honest. Hold on, let's be honest. So it's not like the tall 7-footers coming out nowadays, like the Wembanyama's and Chet Holmgrens. It's not like they're just big beefcakes either. I mean, they're out there doing the job, and they're just about the same, as Durant. So actually, the league is actually going more to a body style that favors Durant.
It's because people don't box out the same way. So, I mean, realistically, you can be that thinner body if you're tall. Now, Wembanyama is a little different because he's so tall.
He could be 7'5" and 300 pounds, and he's still not going to look 300 pounds because he's so tall.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, he just happens to be so tall that even the 7-footers, he's outreaching. So, I mean, he's a little bit of a unicorn when it comes to that. Yeah. But when you're looking at a guy like a Durant or something like that, you mean to tell me that if he was down low, he wouldn't be able to get rebounds over some of these other guys trying to box him out? Of course he
He
could.
would be. Yeah, I just think like a lot of these players too, just like the way their body looks, like Chet Holmgren, for example, too. It's just that the physicality of the game nowadays is nothing compared to what it was like in the 90s, early 2000s, even where you actually had to body people up and be physical. So these players don't put on the weight and don't put on the strength that they used to have because they don't need it as much anymore.
Well, no, which makes it even worse that these guys aren't going down there to get rebounds and stuff like that. Again,
put Patrick Ewing in the league right now, and how many rebounds this guy would have? He would make a living just using.
Well, okay. Look at Steven Adams that plays for the Rockets as of right now. He has that kind of a build. He's a big guy, but he's not so big that he can't run up and down the field. He's got enough that he can hold down the weight.
Yeah, the two players that I can think of off the top of my head right now that would make an absolute killing in this league based on just how the league is gone, Dennis Rodman and Ben Wallace. Neither one of them were tall, but they were 6'9", 260, physical as hell. If you put both of those guys in the paint nowadays, they'd be just making a killing, shoving everybody aside with their body to get rebounds. They'd be averaging
or drawing fouls. They're getting fouled out.
Dennis Rodman would not even have to get fouled out nowadays because he would be just plopping his body in there and people wouldn't even want to get near him because he's so physical. He'd be putting up 25 rebounds a game and probably 20 points just on putbacks.
No, he was the master of kicking the ball back out. Like he didn't really do that. I mean, it was funny because he actually wasn't a horrible shooter, but he didn't take a lot of shots.
Like I think Ben Wallace would be a guy that's averaging like 25 rebounds a game and probably getting 20 points just on putbacks because that's all the guy did in Detroit back in the day was just get tip-ins and rebounds. Now it's like, oh, rebound, okay, layup, rebound, layup.
Yeah, no, Rodman was more about the control of the game. Right. So he would get that rebound and then kick it back out. He really didn't put a ton of them back up. I mean, I think he averaged 7 points a game for his career. Like it wasn't big, but it was because he had all the other shooters. Right. So he would get that rebound, kick it back out. That's
what made that damn team so good is everybody had a role, right? You had your 3-point guy, right, and Kukoc or Kerr. You had your rebounding guy, you had your shooting guy. I mean, everybody had a role, and everybody played so good.
Rodman was your enforcer. Jordan was the do everything. Scotty was Mr. Defense. Kerr and Harper were your shooters, and then Kukoc and Luke Longley were kind of the 7-footers who could shoot a three, put the ball in the paint, and kind of do whatever else you need him to do. Like every player on that team, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deep, they all had a distinguished role. They all stuck with that role, and that's what made them so good for so long.
Yeah. Well, and they weren't selfish in the things they did, which is why Rodman averaged 7 points for a career because it's like he didn't need to be the guy shooting the ball. Even though he actually was a decent shooter.
Yeah, the year that the Bulls went 72-10, I believe Rodman averaged 6 points, but he also averaged like 15 rebounds. He's like, no, this is my role to get a rebound and kick it out, to get a rebound and keep possession.
That's why they called him the Worm. Like he found his way in there.
Yeah, it's like I don't care if I score at this point. I'm here for rings, and guess what? I'm getting my rings, getting a rebound, and coloring my hair.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was definitely a different type of basketball. And Rodman was a different type.
It was definitely a different type.
It was funny with him the other day. He was doing like a signing in the Chicago area the other day just for whatever he was there for. I think it was like a book or something.
Okay.
And a little kid, probably 7, 8 years old, never saw a Dennis Rodman play. But he comes up to Rodman with like a framed Rodman jersey, and he just wanted Rodman to sign the jersey. And all of a sudden he's walking away. He's like, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. And Rodman's like, oh, Lord.
Yo, yeah. Right.
No, you don't.
Like, kid, please don't do that.
Nice. Yeah, when the Worm's doing that,
Well, I mean, like, he understands he made lots of bad decisions.
He understands he made a lot of bad choices.
But I mean, yeah, no. So it is interesting. I don't know. Again, there's just a lot about the NBA today that I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, exactly. He knows.
He knows how much he messed up. He don't want that kid to end up like he did.
But do you think if Rodman played in today's game with the way they are being more sensitive towards fouls, do you think that he could be as effective as he was, or do you think he would pick up fouls a lot easier?
He'd probably fall out in a lot of games, but he would still be very effective in terms of getting the rebound and keeping possession going. Like him and Draymond Green, I would love to see just go at it in a game nowadays. because both of them would be talking so much shit to each other. It'd be ugly.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's psychological warfare alone.
The difference is Rodman would throw down. Like if it got to it,
Draymond Green would be screwed if he was going up against Rodman.
That's what I'm saying. Like Rodman would beat him up. Like no, I mean it. I think he would foul out of a lot of games, but Rodman was incredibly smart. So he would adapt to what the rules are. Mm-hmm. He could continue to be as aggressive and everything as he is. So yeah, I mean, Rodman was incredibly smart. So I do think that he would figure out how to stay in games. I don't think he'd foul out as much as you think.
I think he'd fall out like you said. I think he'd fall out a lot like at first, but then once he kind of adjusted to like how the NBA is now, I think he'd learn how to like control his emotions enough to not do anything like overly stupid. Maybe get like technicals, obviously, but not to the point where you're getting thrown out. But like he would just kind of get in guys' heads and just be like, "You want to throw down? I'm right here. Just come on, swing, and I'm ready."
Well, and he was never afraid to get kicked out of a game. So I mean. You know, obviously, if it came to that, he'd be like, "Okay, like
I'm ready. Let's go."
So where are you headed there, Pags?
So today I normally do my speeches the day that I come back from a road trip. Well, we just got back late last night, so I have to go do this this morning, and it just so happens that. There's also a radio show that's opening up a new store, Angelo's. If you know anything about Philly, Angelo's is one of the top cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, and they're opening up a spot right around the corner from the studio that I operate at, and 94 WIP, which is the sports talk radio show, is also going to be is also there right now. So I'm going to go show some support and love for Wilmington and the Eagles and all that stuff, which is why I'm in the car right now. And I couldn't be at the start because I was still painting and getting all my stuff together.
Right on.
Painting and driving. That's amazing. It's American.
That's right.
And then on top of that, tonight I'm doing a charity event. So this is on all day.
Good times.
All right.
Yeah, I love it when it's I get to spend 14 hours in paint.
Hey, at least it's the time of year where you're not going to be sweating the whole time.
No, thank God it's gorgeous out here today. It's like 65 degrees and sunny. There's not like any clouds in the sky type stuff. So I'm really excited about all that.
You're going there for free food. I mean,
well, interestingly enough, the charity today is Meals on Wheels. So it's so yeah, there should be some really good food there.
I mean, you'd have to retouch because like you're gonna randomly accidentally touch your face, stuff like that.
Actually, I'm really good about that stuff. I don't have to. I do bring touch up just in case because you never know. It's not me. It's actually other people coming to give me a hug or something, and their hat will brush my head, and that'll leave like a streak mark.
Yeah.
So I bring touch up for stuff like that. But I'm usually really good. Like the food that I eat and stuff, I have to be very particular. I'm like, get it right into my mouth because I don't like that face.
Oh, but you do have to be particular. I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not eating a sandwich because the paint gets all over the sandwich.
Yeah, I had with that have some my sandwich. It sure does.
Exactly. Yeah, like when you get your nail polish in there.
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking when a bird pops out of the beard and eats part of your sandwich.
No, so he never notices that because it just comes out and it pecks the sandwich. He's like, damn, who ate the back half of my sandwich?
Oh, man, forget about a mustard sandwich. Mustard's the worst. Yeah, you got to be very careful with mustard. Or any jelly-based product.
I love mustard, but I also know that I don't have globs of mustard in my sandwich. So I'm not going to have a whole big mustard stain down the front of my jersey.
Yep.
that changes the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that with any condiment really. Like, I don't go crazy putting.
Oh, you really can't. I mean, yeah, you
So-
really
You don't
can't.
gotta lie, Jay. I know you eat the messiest
I was
sandwich.
thinking because I was thinking like, you know, when they do the subway sandwiches, they kind of make that tunnel, right? They dig the tunnel and then they start to build in the tunnel. So maybe you can actually contain the mustard if you put the mustard at the bottom of that tunnel and built the sandwich up. Then you wouldn't have the mustard going everywhere. You see what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I love mustard. At the same time, I want to taste my toppings.
No, no, Bo, it's
Like,
overrated.
if I'm spending $20 on a sandwich, I definitely want to taste the roast beef they put on it.
So one of the questions that's asked a lot around here is, what do you put on your hot dog? Do you put ketchup on your hot dog? And I personally do, but I also put on mustard and relish. I'm a 3-topping guy. You know what I
Okay.
mean, on my hot dog. Because truth of the matter is that hot dogs are really nasty in the first place. So I want to diffuse the taste with as much other taste as possible.
Yeah.
So, but other people like the onions, like I'll put on some chili. It's just that I obviously, if I'm eating with chili, like chili dog or whatever, I have to wear bib.
Oh, well,
Because-
I mean, yeah, everybody does because that's just a mess. Yeah.
So, but not everybody does. Not everybody does. Like I actually,
No, I mean, let me rephrase that. Everybody should.
right. Like I put up, I asked them for one of their towels so that I could actually put that, I'm stick it in my shirt type thing because I know.
I do the lean over the plate.
I want to see Bo in a bib. I don't think Bo would put on a bib. I don't think he does.
I did. I've only done it a couple of times, but it was like it was an all-you-could-eat ribs, and I was like, challenge accepted.
Nice.
And
Or
I
all you
got-
can eat
I
crabs.
got cut off. I was kind of bummed out. After my second pizza pan of ribs, they're like, yeah, like you're kind of done, dude. I was like, well, really all you can eat. But I was
How
pretty
do
close
you
to
get your stomach to even be big enough for that? I mean, I know they can do this stretching techniques, but that's incredible.
I-
With
I-
that
but
much
they
food
went
in
with
your
your
stomach
second
is
pan.
incredible.
What's
Two
that?
pans. They stopped you at 2 pans. Really, it should be 3. 3 pans is the stop. Like
yeah,
that.
I was gonna order the third, but they're just like, dude, like, I was, fair enough. I did eat like, 5 times the value of what I spent. So I get they were losing money
Wow.
Yeah, but that's their own fault.
for
You know
sure.
what I mean? It's like,
For sure.
hey, listen, there's a place, we found a place that has all you can eat crabs all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's like, and they give you options of what types of crabs you want. So like I've done the, this is, like I want the blue claw and I want the snow crab, and then you can switch it up to the king crab and the Dungeness. You know, it's like you can get the whole gamut of crabs in the mix.
Nice.
So and it's like and I tell you, we went there and it was like $60, and they kept bringing them. You know, it was like they give you an hour limit. Like, hey,
Yes.
listen, you have a 2-hour limit. That's it. You know, like that's all you can eat in 2 hours, really.
So I had that with an all-you-could-eat wings. It had an hour limit. It gave you an hour and a half.
Right. 90 minutes is actually probably good because there it's like that's like a halftime thing. You get them at halftime and you go for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And then you got to rebuy them. You could rebuy them again if you want to. And then you get another 90 minutes. You could re-up, but then you're getting the double charge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is it's all you can eat during that 90 minutes. So like you order that next basket when your first one is set down. You're like, okay, bring the next, that way when you smash through that thing, the next one is already on its way. So there's not a lot of downtime.
Right. And the other thing about that is that if you have 2 people there, like that's the harder part. Now I know Moose is probably saying something like, "Hey, he could eat like 100 wings in a half hour's time because he's one of those wing eating guys."
Yeah, he
But-
said 50 wings in 15 minutes.
That's insane.
Well, he's
insane.
one of the. So Philly used to have the Wing Bowl,
Mhm.
and he was one of like the contestants. He's like one of those guys that eats wings like that, like competitively.
I got you.
Okay.
He's forever in second place, it seems. Don't miss it by like one wing or two wings or something, and it's But hey, listen, he's always placing though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
runner-up trophy, still a trophy,
And he's full.
and he's full. Yep.
The one wing contest I ever did, it was like they did it. It was a chance to go to Vegas.
The king of second place.
There was a chance to go to Vegas, and my brother was supposed to be in the wing eating competition, and for whatever reason, he couldn't make it, and I stepped in for him. And I tell you, I went up against these monster dudes, and I came in 5th place. Now, it was the chance to go to Vegas, which was awesome, and compete in another wing eating contest, which I would not have done. Like, I would have just gone to Vegas and, maybe had 6 or 7 wings in that contest and just watched everybody else eat. But it was like I ate 98 wings.
Yeah,
in the
I'm not doing
first 20 minutes. Now, they were small wings. They were
Sure.
small.
Sure.
The guy next to me looked like he was about to puke. The other guy on the other side of me, like this guy, it was hysterical. Somewhere the picture is out there of what it looked like, and it was ridiculous. But it was a cool event to be in. And then I was like, and then because it was like 20, 10, and 5. So that next 10, like I ate 98 wings in the first 20 minutes. And then I think I only ate like 8 in the next 10 minutes. Because I just couldn't. I'm like, yeah, this was not. I was built for speed, not for comfort. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not the speed wing eater. Like I'll eat a ton of them, but I'm not trying to race through them. Although, I mean, if they were the mini wings, like you could get through a lot of them that way.
Right.
If they were the giant Costco wings, less so.
yeah, and that's what these were. These were like the little itty bitty wings.
Yeah, so
You know
you
what I mean?
can smash through a lot of those.
Right, exactly. And it's like you just like boom, go on, boom, go on, boom. Like you can push them down and make them the popsicles for the the wings in comparison to the drums and stuff. So
Am I the only one that's disappointed in Hooters? I remember Hooters wings used to be they used to be massive, and they used to have that certain type of taste. Now it's just they're just so generic. It's like it doesn't seem like they're the same Hooters wings I remember.
I mean, Hooters went
because
out
they
of
went
business in
bankrupt.
the Pacific Northwest. We don't even have any left.
right, they went bankrupt. So there's only the franchises are left that wanted to keep it.
Okay, so that's why you don't get those big wings anymore. Then all that stuff.
Well, it's
yeah,
up to the
because
store owner.
Now they're getting it through other channels and stuff.
Yeah, there's got to be less than 20 or 25 Hooters left. I know the Mall of America still has theirs, and then the Chicago,
Since I was just there, yeah.
and then the Chicago area has 13. Like
Yeah,
just in the
so
Chicago area.
ours closed down 15 years ago. So we lost all of them here in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, about 15 years ago. So, I mean, they haven't been here in a really long time anyway. But yeah, as a company, they went bankrupt. And so, yeah, like Pag said, it's just the franchise owners that wanted to keep all the materials. But as far as it being affiliated with Hooters, it's not anymore.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
I can
there's still,
understand that.
there was a ton of franchises. So, I mean, there's still a bunch around, but they're pretty much left up to their own devices now.
Correct.
Wow.
So- All right, guys, this was a short stint for me. I'm here where I'm supposed to be, so I got to go.
Right on.
Oh,
Take
you're
it easy.
short
Have
snit.
fun.
I don't
Later,
call you
guys.
short snit pags for nothing.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I absolutely miss that old school Hooters sauce that they had on their wings. Like I can't find it anymore. I've never been able to find anybody making a sauce like that. Even close to that sauce.
The only way that you can find it is if you go to one of the remaining Hooters left. And then
Yeah.
you can buy it directly in like the gift shop there, but you won't be able to find it in stores or anything else anymore since they went bankrupt. They're not allowed to sell it in stores anymore. The only way they can sell it is basically one of the 20 plus locations left that's franchised out. Whatever they
Well,
have. in stock
they could actually sell it in stores if one of the locations wanted to do it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like right now, as is, like you have to go to the actual restaurant and go to the gift shop and buy it. Otherwise, you're not getting it.
You should, Moose. Yeah, I mean, if it's in your neighborhood, go check it out. Yeah, no, it's If any of those franchises wanted to do it, they definitely could because they have the rights to use the name. The big thing is they'd have to spend an insane amount of money because they'd have to be front loading
Which
that
they
whole
won't.
thing.
Which they won't.
No,
do.
of course not. I mean, unless they have crazy, deep pockets.
Mhm.
Shows that they like the Hooters breadsticks.
Yeah, it's not what that says. That's why I didn't put it up.
Breadsticks.
It's a little early for the late show.
But I say, damn, boy. It's 10 p.m. somewhere, damn it.
Yeah, well, actually, probably for Joe. Yeah, and honestly, I was never a fan. So, of their food, which is probably why they didn't do well here because we have so many other wing spots, and then you can get a better burger everywhere else too. Oh, Joe, you don't have to apologize. I thought it was funny. I just can't put it on the screen, is all. But yeah, I was never a fan of their food. So I mean, I've only ever been to one, half a dozen times with somebody that wanted to go. They did have really good happy hours, though.
Yeah,
I'll give them that. Like their drink happy hour specials were awesome.
They still have good. They still have the good happy hour yet. And happy hour is even longer now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would imagine. The other place that used to have a really good happy hour was TGIF, right? I don't know if you guys had those, but
We have one.
We used to have. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
yeah, they also went bankrupt years ago, but they used to have a really good happy hour also.
Just out of curiosity, is Sears still around?
No,
No.
it hasn't been for a long time. That's why you find Craftsman Tools at Lowe's. They bought the rights.
Yeah, I was curious about that. Okay.
That's why you have all those Halloween and Christmas stores that are only open for a month. That's why they always use the old Sears building because they just literally pay for a month's rent, put all
That's
their
right.
crap in there, and then
Spirit
once they
Halloween.
Yep.
They're just
They literally go to like all the old Sears buildings and pay for a month's rent, put their stuff in there for a month, and then they close. And then Christmas store go in there a month or two later, spend a month's rent, and then they're empty for 10 months. Unless
Yeah,
someone
I mean
wants
they
to
used
like
to
an event
do
there.
they used to do that with the Kmart's before Sears
Yep.
went out. So, yep.
I love a good Kmart.
We have one Kmart left.
Really?
One Kmart about 45 minutes from our house. I think it's the last one that I can think of that's
Wow.
even open yet.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean it's funny because there's still some random ones of those businesses around. Like there's a few J.C. Penney's still floating around somehow. Believe it or not, Toys R Us still has stuff internationally.
Yeah, well, they just reopened again though.
Well, only because they survived internationally.
Yeah.
How do they ever think about going out of this business? I mean, with all the kids and stuff in the world, how could that ever happen?
COVID killed Toys R Us because a big part of Toys R Us was having people in the store being able to try stuff out.
Yeah.
And then when COVID happened and not having people in the store and only being able to limit like how many people could come in a store at once, and then once you had more people in, they weren't allowed to like try things out. That killed Toys R Us. Because that was like their big selling point was the kids are allowed to touch all the toys and play with all the toys and try everything out before you buy it. Then COVID comes and you can't do that no more.
Yeah, no. When I was younger, I think it was 20. That was my second job. Is I would be at Toys R Us in the middle of the night, like building the bikes and all that stuff, stocking the shelves and whatever.
Yep.
So because I had a normal job during the day. Yeah, that was the most.
Growing up, Toys R Us was like Magic Land. That was like
That was the most ridiculous work schedule I've ever had in my life. I was a assistant manager of a Q-Lube, so this lets you know the era, because I've been gone a really long time.
in a while.
Yeah, and you won't. And then so I had a 12-hour shift there, and then I would go work for 8 hours at Toys R Us in the middle of the night, and I'd do that 6 days a week, and then Monday I would sleep. So yeah, I worked 20 out of 24 for about 8 months. It was
that is a hellified schedule.
yeah, it was.
That is a hellified schedule. I would not want to work this schedule.
I mean, well, you know, the thing is that then I bought my first house when I was 21. So
yeah. Well, I've worked that schedule. I didn't like it.
no, it's zero fun.
It was zero fun.
So Woolworths still exist
I
in
remember
Mexico.
Woolworth.
Yeah, so the naming rights was bought out, and so you'll find stores in Mexico. Similarly, they still have a Radio Shack down in Mexico as well.
Radio Shack.
Yeah. Specifically, I know that because it was the town I lived in. It had both of them.
Wow, Radio Shack. I mean,
I remember Radio Shack.
It's not the Radio Shack you liked though. Like it's still Radio Shack. They still have all the goofy stuff, but they don't have any of the like circuit boards and things that you can actually build stuff. Like it's
right.
It's not that store, which is too bad because you know when I have stuff break here and I'm like, oh, I need a resistor. I used to love Radio Shack because then I could just like solder the replacement, and now you can't do any of that. You can't find that stuff.
Right.
But
Okay.
yep. So yeah, but yeah, no, Mexico does still have a couple.
Woohoo!
Nobody has a Blockbuster. Yeah,
There was the one Blockbuster left in the world, but did it finally close?
I don't know. I think there might have been one, right? But like all the video stores have essentially closed. Even the ones that hung on for a really long time have finally, you know, streaming's just too easy.
Mm-hmm.
7-Eleven, is 7-Eleven still around? I know it's
Oh yeah, 7-Eleven is still around.
Yeah, it's a convenience store, man. Like those are
That
cool.
will never.
No, they're
go
not
out
down
there.
here, not down where I'm at.
So we've had a bunch of them close.
Jay, because you have Buc-ee's down by you.
Well, that's
Well,
true.
Buc-ee's is a glorified 7-Eleven times.
I mean, it is. It is.
So-
It's very much on steroids.
The big thing is a lot of the 7-Elevens that have closed were because they weren't attached to a gas station.
Yep.
So any of the ones that are attached to a gas station
That's
are still
right.
around.
Hey,
any of the
we have our
convenience
first
stores-
Buc-ee's in Wisconsin coming, Jay. I am thrilled.
Any
said
of the
what now?
convenience stores that aren't attached to a
No.
gas station is the gas station's the moneymaker for sure. But the thing is, if it's standalone building if there's a grocery store close, the grocery store is always cheaper.
Yeah.
And so why would you go to a 7-Eleven? But if you are pulling into a gas station, you're not like, oh, hey, let me make another stop at a grocery store. You're just like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm already here. Let me get whatever. So that's where, you know, 7-Elevens, AMPMs, all of those, that's where they flourish because
Right.
you're already in the parking lot.
Yeah, Jay, I said we have our first Buc-ee's in Wisconsin getting built in the
Yes.
Milwaukee area.
Is that right? You get wow, they made it that far north now.
I am so freaking excited. I don't have to drive.
Yeah,
to
Buc-ee's is
my
really
first
cool,
one.
though.
Now I can just drive an hour and 40 minutes to Milwaukee to go to Buc-ee's.
So it's funny though, because I thought Oregon started allowing you to pump your own gas, because I remember watching some hilarious videos of people not knowing how to do it because you guys didn't roll out like the how to. You're just like, okay, now you do it yourself. And it's like,
But what? What do we do?
where about in Texas there, Jay?
I am just north of downtown Houston, and I'm just south of Dallas. So I'm right next door, actually right next door to Sam Houston State University. So if you know where Sam Houston State University is, right next door to it. I think we even share the same forest.
I gotcha.
What Donna said right there about the cleanest store she's ever been to is a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
When you're paying your cleaning crew $27 an hour to clean Buc-ee's, I would hope that it's clean.
Yep.
Thinking assistant store managers at Buc-ee's are making 170 to 200 grand a year, and then store managers are making 250 grand plus.
Yeah.
That store
And 7-Eleven, you're saying their stop and goes there in Italy, in Mexico, they're OXXO. So I mean,
We have stop and goes. Jeez, I don't even know what happened to stop and goes. I remember that. Sure do.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. So you just have someone else do it. And yeah, it's funny because watching people that have never pumped gas try and pump gas is hilarious. And so yeah, there was tons of videos that came from Oregon when they finally passed it, because it used to be state law that you couldn't pump your own gas.
Why not? That's literally every pump in Wisconsin. You have to pump your own gas.
Yeah, and that's true in most of the U.S. It's been true in Washington forever. But it was funny because it was a state law that you couldn't pump your own gas there, and that's actually true in a lot of Mexico too. Like there's a lot of Mexico you can't pump your own gas, but
What the heck?
But it's funny because soon as they changed that, and there was no like ramp up, like, hey, this is how you do it. They're just like, okay, and now you have to do it yourself. And people would get to the gas station and like not know what to do. So it was.
I remember the days you just pull up in there and you go across a little bell, and then the guy would come out and he'd check your fluids, ask you if you need this, that, or the other. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, grew up as a kid. I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, the full service stations. Well, and of course, you know, I'm old enough that there were still full service lanes, right?
Right.
Like, a lot of it was still you pumped it your own, but you could pay for the full service lane where somebody would come out and pump your gas and whatever. Those really aren't available anymore either here, which is too bad because there's some days, like, especially if you're going to an event where you're dressed up and stuff, it's like, man, I need gas, but I don't want to smell like gas, right? Like I don't, because for whatever reason, if you touch the handle, you're now going to smell like fuel because people spill stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
the convenience is nice. It's nice to have that convenience, honestly.
No, it is. I mean, it's, but you have to seek it out here. Like it is incredibly difficult to find somebody to pump your fuel.
Yeah.
Like, I love, what is it, Discount Tire? You know, like when I come home from church and my tire's like real low, I can roll right through Discount Tire. Man, they'll pump up all your tires for air for free, and then you just keep on rolling. I was like, that's the best thing ever. And I guess that, to your point, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe they would have something like that, or they could develop something like that where you can just roll it. Now you might have to pay a little bit for the gas, but you know what I'm saying. The service itself is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and the price difference wasn't crazy, right? Like it was always like a few dollars different, and then whatever your tip was or whatever. But
how much is gas by you guys right now?
for us,
Yeah.
if you're going for like regular, it's like $4.40, $4.50. Something like that.
That's when I would take public transportation.
Yeah, no, it's like in the top of summer, we were up over $5.
Screw that.
$2.79.
$2.65.
So
And if I go to Kroger's and I get my little 10 cents off, I can get it down to $2.65.
yeah, like if you hit up Costco or something like that, occasionally you can get it for, like right at $4. Here's the thing that's wild about fuel prices here in Seattle, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we get most of our crude from Alaska, and we have refineries here in Anacortes. So our stuff is domestic. It's produced here in Seattle, but because of all the taxes and everything, it's one of the most expensive fuel prices in the nation.
Yeah, ours is $2.65, and if you get like the gas stations that I linked to a grocery store, and like you spend X amount of dollars on groceries, you get discounts. You can get it for $1.50 a gallon, like we did this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, 459 for Oregon. Yeah, because you guys are always just a little bit less than us.
That's crazy. When I hear people say $4.59 for a gallon of gas,
The West Coast is expensive.
I have never. Yeah, I don't think in Wisconsin I've ever seen it even hit 4. I think the highest I've ever seen it hit in Wisconsin was like 3.89, and that was like for a week, and then it went down to like 3.50 the next week.
Yeah, the most expensive I've seen it here in Seattle was It was like $5.59 for a gallon of gas.
Oh man, if it hit $5.59 here, that would. Yeah, that'd be a lot.
Well, I mean, fuel prices here are just like everything else here. It's overpriced for no reason.
That was the only good thing that came out of COVID is gas prices, because we had it down to 64 cents a gallon here at one point because you couldn't do shit. So you're gonna fill your car up at 64 cents a gallon. It's gonna cost you maybe $8 to fill your car up. It might last you 3 weeks to a month because you couldn't go anywhere or do anything for a month.
The thing that's funny is even during the heart of COVID, our gas prices were still $3.50.
Yeah, ours got down to 64 cents a gallon was the low point that we got it down to during COVID. And that was literally like the 3 week when you couldn't do anything, where everything was on lockdown for 3 weeks. It got down to 64 cents a gallon. So I remember filling up, driving to and from work, and I didn't have to fill my car up for almost 5 weeks because I'm driving like 14 miles a day. I can't do anything else.
Yep. And when that's that makes a lot of sense, obviously, because they have to ship all that in. Anytime you have that, it gets real expensive. Fuel, like in Hawaii, is more expensive. It tends to be a lot like Seattle in pricing.
You pay for that shipping price.
But if you go to Europe, or they start charging you by the liter, right? Because they use a different system than us. But if you convert it over to gallons, it ends up being $6-7 a gallon if you're buying fuel in Europe too. So we definitely don't have the most expensive fuel in the world.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying when you live on the West Coast and you see what the rest of our own country pays. Mm-hmm. You're like, what are we doing? Like, why is our fuel prices almost double? But yeah, it's due to shipping. The thing that's funny though is Seattle is so overpriced that when we go to Hawaii, everybody else is like complaining, oh, it's so expensive and all of this. And then if you're from Seattle and you go, you're like, oh, so it's like the same price? Cool. Like,
just be happy that you don't live in Hong Kong, because as of today, the price of gas in Hong Kong is $14.30 a gallon.
Well, I'm glad I don't live in Hong Kong because I would not be able to communicate very well.
But I'm just saying, people obviously, like, gas is expensive out in the West Coast, and like gas.
Of course it is.
Gas is expensive in certain parts of the world, but just imagine paying $13-14 a gallon for gas.
I wonder if Europe is more diesel-based engines versus unleaded.
Oh no! So their diesel prices are similar to their gas.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, a lot of it has to do with taxes, stuff like that, but it also has to do with the amount of vehicles based on the amount of space, right? So when you go to places where, like if it's Bermuda, they have to bring it there on a ship, like, and it has to be processed because they can't process it. So it has to be refined elsewhere, brought in, and then ready to go. But when you're looking at other countries where they're trying to stifle the amount of cars on the road, because say they have 1 billion people that live there and they need to not have every one of those people driving all the time. They're really trying to funnel you to their mass transit. Then all of a sudden fuel prices are manipulated by the government to make it harder to drive for that reason.
And go figure, the two cheapest places for gas are Libya and Iran at 11 and 12 cents a gallon.
Well, I mean, yeah, because they are on it.
I mean, we have our own, we have our own. That's what you just said, though. Like Iran and Libya, they like manufacture their own oil, obviously.
Man, I'm gonna be the first in Iran. Hey, baby, we're moving to Iran. Go pack the bags.
Yeah. So, but think about it, volume per capita that they produce, right? That's where they get to do it, and we don't.
Hey, I would love to know.
I'm not gonna move to Libya. It doesn't go with my hair.
I
No.
would, you know,
You're not going to
kill
Libya.
Like that that went a weird way, but
would
yeah,
kill the
I don't think
gas
anybody
station.
here is trying to go to Libya or certainly not Iran.
No, heck
Certainly
no.
not Iran. So there you go.
I would
So
kill
what are we
the
talking
gas
about
station.
Libya and Iran for, Dustin?
Huh?
So why are we talking about Libya and Iran? Neither one of us are going to move there.
I
Who
just
cares
was
about it?
curious about who had the most expensive and the cheapest gas. You know, one's 11 cents, one's $13 a gallon. You know, hey, nice little wide range there. Ever hear of law of averages? Can't we average that out a little bit?
Well, and that's where we end up with the West Coast, I guess, at $4 or $5 a gallon is right around there, averaged out.
Oh man, yeah. There's a disadvantage to living in an amazing country like we do because we got to pay more for everything else. I guess if you want the cheap stuff, you got to go to war-torn countries or craziness, and then you get the cheap stuff. So yeah, disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you're going country to country, you don't think about it too much because you're just like, you know, they negotiate whatever their own stuff is. But, you know, going between here and Mexico, they charge by the liter also. And, you know, when you factor it out, it ends up being, you know, relatively close to the Seattle area.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it's within your own country, like when I drove from here and, you know, went through and did all the state parks and stuff like that. As soon as we left Washington State, I was like, oh, cool. I'm saving $1 a gallon everywhere I go. I'm like, this is dumb.
when we went to Disney in August for our end of the summer trip, you had a gas station right before you hit like Disney property that was, I think, $3.96 a gallon.
Sure.
The moment you hit Disney property, gas went up to $7.95 a gallon. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I was stopping a mile before I hit Disney to fill my car up.
Oh yeah.
And if it died on Disney property, I am pushing my car to get to that gas station to fill it up.
Yeah, some of the stations, especially like in LA County, they hit $8 at one point, which is wild.
I mean, that's one of the advantages living close to Louisiana or Texas, right? That's where a lot of your gas comes from. Just because that's where most of the refineries are. Not that they don't have them elsewhere, they do.
Well,
but
no, so that's actually the problem here in Washington is we don't get any of your oil. We get it from Alaska and we refine it ourselves, and we still don't get efficient pricing.
Yeah, because I know, like I was telling you, I mean, I've never seen our gas ever get to 4. The highest I think it's got was 350, 360. That was during the COVID, you know, when all those gas prices were going nuts. But typically, our gas has always been around the 225, 24. If you're paying 250, you're actually paying a lot in Texas.
Yes,
I think it's just because we live so close to the refineries. So, yeah. Well, I mean, like our shipping is nothing, right? They're not paying much to ship, really.
Well, no, of course. That's why all the warehouses are down there because you have cheap land. Like
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, $2.50 would be half price gas for me.
And don't you wish you had it?
I mean, you know. Yep, can't go to a gas station without dropping $100.
God, I can't imagine. I would probably pass out if I saw $100 on my gas bill.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, $100 is without breaking a sweat. In my SUV, it's it's usually 100 to 120, depending on how empty it was.
It's weird, like in our propane, like the propane is like $2.89 a gallon. I think is what we're paying right now.
Yeah, propane's not terrible here,
but yeah.
Anyway, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for hanging out for our around the world fuel pricing. Be sure to like and subscribe. Occasionally we talk about sports. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.